time.
I watched this movie after staying up for almost 36 hours too. So it was
Why?
even fucking weirder.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be really weird.
Oh, it was like it was really weird. I
You want
liked
to just
it.
get
I
into
enjoyed
it?
Yeah.
I
Welcome
liked all the
back.
performances and shit. So
We are the Harbor Podcast, and this is KINO'S Summer Series. I chose kind of an unconventional choice because it's in Australia, and Australians don't really matter. But
and it's set during Valentine's Day.
it's set during Valentine's Day, but it is summer for them. It'd be like late July, early August for us. So
We don't recognize their summer, dude. This is like the anti-summer series now. What the fuck is wrong with you?
that has always bothered me as a kid. Like, it freaked me out as a kid when I learned that Christmas for them was like going swimming and shit. Like, it rocked my world. For some reason, it fucking pissed me off, dude.
Yeah, it would piss me off too, dude. It's like the never-ending days in Iceland and shit too, man. I would hate to get drunk out there. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and it's like fucking sunrise, and you're just like, what the fuck's going on?
I like that's where your mind first went is like, oh, if I got drunk in northern latitudes. I did have a professor who used to work in Alaska, and she said, yeah, you'd come out of the bar and it'd be just in your eyes, weird. Then a polar bear would eat you.
I watched this movie 4 or 5 years ago and really liked it, but when we were coming up with movies for the summer series, I was in the middle of watching a lot of like turn of the century films. I don't know, I've just been into that era. Like, I was watching like My Fair Lady and not the Time Machine, because all the adaptations of the Time Machine suck. So I was watching this movie called Time After Time. You heard of that?
I've heard the song.
It's
No.
It's like what if H.G. Wells before he wrote The Time Machine was teleported to present day, aka 70s America, and he falls in love with this chick, and there's his friend Jack the Ripper is also transported, and he's like killing people in 70s New York. It's a good movie. I liked it. Even though it's like a silly concept, it's actually better than either adaptations of the actual book. So yeah. Anyway, turn of the century stuff's been intriguing me. I wish there was like a movie with BioShock Infinite kind of aesthetics and qualities, but there isn't. So the search continues.
Yeah, and steampunk is just for freaking nerds.
What do you? I mean, there's stuff that's like it. There's like TV shows and stuff, but nothing like movie wise, really.
Yeah, like Wild West.
No, there's like I don't know. Wild West is
name one.
I had it in my head as something different, and whatever, dude. Don't call me out like that, okay, Scott?
No, but I'm just
look at your background, dude. Are you at Hanging Rock right now, you piece of shit?
No, I've been enjoying.
Did you leave America again?
Turn of the century shit, and this is literally right at 1900, and I don't know, it's very,
which I'm sure is thematically important as we go into the rip-roaring 20th century when this film was made, where sexual norms are a changing.
Yeah.
Very. But let's talk about this movie. What's this movie about?
I like surreal movies, and this movie's fully surreal. And
it's Peter Weir, or it's Pete Weir, dude. Like, Pete Weir kills it with that kind of shit. Truman Show.
It's about
he did Truman Show.
It's about a bunch of young women at a women's college, private school, and they're going out one day for a picnic at Hanging Rock. That's what it's about. But it's got this very dreamy vibe to it. Everything's floaty and weird and off, and there's a lot of low-key shit going on that you have to pay attention to if you want to interpret this film in certain ways. Like when they first get there, they notice that their watches have stopped, and little details like that make you try and figure out what's going on here. And I guess the main question to ask is, what do you think happened to the girls?
So if we're diving directly into that, I
Yeah.
was reading up on that almost immediately after I watched the film because I was like, it's cool that they left it where you really don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But then this is based off a book, which also didn't have a chapter of how it ended like that, but it was a 12th chapter that he had written but never put it in. And
That's
it's
for
like
the
they hit.
best.
So what it is his explanation of it is they hit a time warp.
Uh,
And like they went into this time warp and they are changed into like native animals and things like that. It's fucking super weird.
okay. Well,
Uh,
my go-to, of course, was some sort of alien abduction. So something
Really?
like
monolith,
alien,
it's
yeah,
like
aliens for
it's
sure.
a fucking monolith. Like the hanging rock itself, it's
It's
this
some sort
natural
of
thing. It's a monolith. It's something that connects us
also
to the
like
supernatural.
in sci-fi stories in science fiction, a telltale sign that a UFO is coming down is like everyone's fucking technology and stops, all the clocks stop and shit like that. I don't know. And like they
We'll say
disappeared. So yeah, it could be like a time, like a gash in time, but it could have been a fucking alien abduction for all I know.
I do want to say if it's an alien abduction, they are very particular with the type of women he abducts. Besides the older lady,
Yeah, the older lady.
he wasn't about Edith's fucking weird ass.
Or it could have been some sort of supernatural being or creature or something. I don't know. The fact that she was the older lady was something was urging her to run up there in a daze and without her fucking clothes on. That screams like paranormal or extraterrestrial to me. So
This whole movie feels like I just drank a fucking bunch of mushroom tea and
Yeah.
decided to watch something about a bunch of little British girls on a fucking
yeah,
planet.
it
There's
really
a lot
does imitate
Dude,
that feeling.
It's really, yeah, there's certain scenes where it's literally like, wow, this is really, really trippy. Like this isn't like the way they film things in terms of like showing certain things and then panning up and all of that. It just like it feels real, but it feels so distant from reality at the same time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is towards the beginning when they first get to the hanging rock and they're showing they're panning over all the girls eating the birth or Valentine's Day cake or whatever, and that feels like a fucking painting.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a fucking modern whatever painting. It's fucking cool, man.
Feels like an oil painting.
And the music is used really
it's glowing.
And
And
this is sorry, and if I'm lagging, I'm sorry, and there's nothing I can do about it. But this is one of my favorite film scores of all time. Not one of my favorite film soundtracks that I would just bump and jam at any time. You know, it's not John Williams, but an unconventional score played on, I think, panpipes.
Yeah, it's a pan flute
or something like that.
Yeah,
pan flute. You know, which is not a brass John Williamsy instrument. Not that that would fit for this movie. If there's just
it's
all the time, but it's effective. It immediately sets the tone, the otherworldly tone, and it's almost like a theremin, as to your hypothesis.
Yeah, that's exactly. It was just slightly different.
I don't really have
an What? You must be lagging, I guess.
Yeah.
Lagging.
We can see you, but
he comes back to a first world country only to have third world internet.
It is otherworldly, and the way it sounds like a theremin is kind of keyed me into that idea of like, what if it is something extraterrestrial or something? And then
well, I think at the beginning in the credits, they the credits speak of like it doesn't say like a musician or like a composer, it's a pan flutist.
Yeah,
like they list that. And I don't know if this is just for reference for people who listen. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like at the mall or like some fucking place, you'd have that indigenous or fucking native dude playing the pan flute in front trying to sell us CDs.
Really?
Yeah. And have you never seen
those Peruvians, right?
Yeah, that shit's awesome. I love that.
I haven't seen that shit.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can't remember what mall it was at when I was younger, but I distinctly remember that shit because it's like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's cool.
No, if you go to New York City, the Peruvian pan flautists will be in the subways, and they're
cool.
They're really good.
But I've always been mysticized by like in general by that instrument. Like it's got such a mysticized part of my brain that like anytime I start hearing that, I start feeling like kind of
Loosey-goosey.
weird,
Yeah.
kinda in there, you know. It's cool, man. I was impressed by the music first and foremost.
I'm always attracted to films that are drenched in atmosphere and look like they were like shot, like someone snuck a fucking camera into a time machine and made a movie or something.
Dude, I was just about to comment on that. Like, I'm 1900s Australia. Like, this looks like that. Like, it's only got a few different scenes in a few different places, but I think that's why that it's so effective, because most of it's done in like nature, and then it has the scenes that are like in the town, and the town looks like fucking something out of Red Dead Redemption, and then you've got like the old boarding house with Mrs. Applebaum, who
Yeah.
is absolutely, I fucking hate her.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
It sets the tone is so well set for this movie. I was really impressed by it.
I
Because this is my first time watching it. I don't know if it was
Okay, yeah.
y'all. So
Yeah, you know, I've
It
seen
was
it
definitely
before.
mine.
it's cool. I really enjoyed it.
I'm an old school patrician. I've seen it before. No, but I can tell when older films have influenced younger directors, and I can tell that Sofia Coppola probably ate this fucking movie up.
It's in the Wikipedia page that she lists as
Is
one of her
it?
biggest inspirations.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
That
I
was a
called it
fucking
then.
good call.
Because
my God.
the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this is fucking virgin suicide vibes. Like,
Absolutely. And that's
she
one of my
pulls that
that's my
so
favorite
hard.
Sofia Coppola film. I almost
Yeah.
said Coppola film, and then everybody would give me shit. Because I was like, that's my favorite Coppola film. And then they'll be like,
Yeah.
but no, I love I immediately thought to the Virgin Suicides as well. That's exactly where my mind went to. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but fucking Jackie Weaver's in this. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's a really badass Australian actress who's been around forever. She was in a movie called Animal Kingdom, which is like an Australian gangster film, and it's the tits. It came out about like a decade ago.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the.
No, I thought it was cool seeing Jackie.
No, I'm saying
Weaver
it has nothing to
young.
do with the fourth park installed at Disney World in early 2000s.
No, it's cool seeing her in it because she's so fucking young. Like, if you look up a picture of Jackie Weaver now, she plays the like the maid who's sleeping with the Australian whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
That's her, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, I recognize her. And
Okay.
I looked, oh, it's Jackie fucking Weaver. That's cool. So it's interesting seeing that, especially because I don't know a whole lot of Australian cinema outside of what everyone knows, you know.
Yeah.
We
got Mad Max. What else?
Mad Max,
Australia.
Mad
Yeah,
Max
Australia,
3,
the movie.
and, Mad Max 3.
One,
Apparently
two,
they
and
started
three.
Red Dog. I haven't seen it, but Red Dog about Red Dog. Rabbit Proof Fence. I saw that one in class. It's not that great when I was a kid.
They this reading into the Wikipedia, this helped bring a lot of attention to Australian new wave film.
I bet.
So, and like that, I didn't even know that was a fucking. I don't know. I don't look too highly on you Australian people. I'm just saying.
Everyone had their different.
Celebrate your
eras of
Christmas
new
at the right time if you want us to watch your cinema.
Every
The Koreans do, the Europeans do. That's why we watch their movies.
New wave
Tokyo Godfathers, winter.
Yeah, happens at different times in different cultures and areas. In fact, I'm dying to talk about a Japanese new wave film, a Funeral Parade of Roses. We'll talk about that at some point as a banger fucking art house movie. But this movie has one of my like least favorite annoying characters in cinema, and it's that fatter girl who just won't shut the fuck up. Yeah,
fuck Edith, dude.
You know who she reminds me of, even though this came out before the other movie, I think, is that guy in the wheelchair in Chainsaw Massacre who will not stop complaining the entire movie until he's killed.
Oh man, I feel like these came out almost this, because this came out in 75. When did the original Texas Chainsaw come out?
This movie is an almost dreamier version of that. Teenagers disappearing.
Texas Chainsaw came out
summer.
A year before this.
Okay, well, coincidence.
That was actually one of the weaker things about that movie. Was I don't know, they always got to make the fat character annoying, especially a fat woman. And it's weirdly sexist and
but also like she's the oddball out, and
And then what do you do when you're weird and depressed? You eat. And
like us.
And then you look like us. Right. You watch movies.
I look okay.
Also, like something, because she was not either taken by aliens, she didn't fall in the time loop or time gash or whatever, she was not taken. So if it was aliens, then they got fucking good taste, man. I'm just kidding, but I don't know.
I think they turned into swans. That's what we see at the end when they track into the swans.
Yeah, maybe so.
That could be it.
I think they or they, I don't know. I almost didn't even think about what happened because I realized that's kind of the point. It's a mystery and it's horror.
Yeah, plus also when something happens in real life, it becomes a myth or legend. And
people were pissed too. Like reading into this, people were mad that they were like, people in America were mad they didn't get like a reveal of what happened.
Fuck them.
I thought the subplots, way better. I guess the intertwining plots of like who Sarah is and like the story of her being an orphan and not being able to afford it, and then her, committing suicide over that, and then the things that happened with Miss Applebaum. And I thought those were incredibly interesting, and I'm glad that we got the progress of what that mystery was when Irma was given back.
Yeah.
But then she just goes around and leaves. And it's like, I kind of like that. It's like a lot of misdirection there.
Yeah, I agree.
You think she gets dropped back off or reappears? I don't know. I just like to think that they went voluntarily. And then maybe Irma changed her mind and got her memory erased, which is another alien thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they went voluntarily because they were escaping Victorianism. That's the thing. They're in Victoria, the province, region, whatever of Victoria. And I think you see freaking portraits of Queen Victoria all over this movie. That's all that this is about, is escaping Victorian sort of puritanical sexuality. So I think to put an external explanation on that is to discredit the characters disappearing of their own volition, because they wanted to take off clothes and run off with the boys and the bogans and do their thing.
Drink some VB long necks.
You know what a great Australian movie is? Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, that's a good movie. So you mentioned them going willfully. Do you guys know that Junji Ito comic? What's it called? Let me look it up. It's like where basically these people are supernaturally attracted to these holes in the side of a mountain that just so happen to be the same shape that they are, to like perfection, to the point where they are the only ones that can go through it. And once they find one that fits them, they are immediately attracted to go through that, and then they're never seen again.
Huh.
Have you guys read that at all?
No.
I feel like this may have been
Parker might have.
I'm sure she has.
Considering that's her poster. Or
yeah,
whatever.
It's called The Enigma of Amigara Fault. It's a short story by Junji Ito, who is a manga artist for people listening. Who does really warped fucking horror, body horror shit. One of the best in the game. That right there is his artwork. I feel like this could have been highly inspired by the Picnic Hanging Rock inspired Junji Ito a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's an interesting phenomenon of being so attracted to something that you can't help yourself going, even though there's a sense of dread. At least the viewer has dread when they are going. It almost seems like they're not in control completely, though.
Oh no, they're in a trance for sure. And then also, Matt, everyone, including the girls at the bottom picnicking, everyone falls asleep.
Yeah, everybody's asleep except for the old lady, Mrs. Watts. Is that her name?
Yeah, so something's up there. Really weird.
I also like that they brought like the side characters they have outside of like the main group of girls and the teachers at the boarding school. I like that we got like the two fucking bogan Chad dudes that are like drinking beers, and he's just like crying about drinking beers.
One of them's Chad. The other's kind of not like a wimp, but a dorky.
Oh, okay.
Pseudo Chad.
He's trying to hang.
He's okay. Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
He wants to be like a gentleman, but he also likes drinking with a redneck guy,
and who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they start going into the details about the Chatty Boys' home life, and I love that it fucking interweaved with everything that's going on in the school. So it almost feels like he's bound by fate to help in this situation as much as he can.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah,
Feels like it.
He's like
Or he's a
warped in.
white knight.
Yeah, fucking pussy.
He kind of is, though.
I don't know. I like this film a lot more than I thought I would.
Okay.
Maybe not immediately after I watched it, but like today, now that we're talking about it,
It's a grower. I get
definitely liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
that.
Way better than Annette.
Man, all right, don't bring that in here. Weird movies like that, especially surrealist films, they can grow on you, especially like Blade Runner, another atmosphere movie. First time I watched it, I was like, whatever. That was all right, I guess. And then it really grew on me. And now it's my second favorite film of all time. So,
it's one of my favorite of all time. Even got the book.
And then, man, yeah, like,
go get a toothpick, you fucking bogan.
Oh yeah, I literally forgot until that moment that I was on camera.
Yeah,
I was
you
trying to get shit out of my teeth for the past 10 minutes.
What'd you eat?
I think that's some salad.
Oh yeah,
it made me feel bad because I ate shitty today.
I'm trying to eat healthier. I ain't enchilada with it.
You think they sell salad at the bowling alley?
Yo, they sell salad at the bowling alley.
That's too much of an in joke.
None of you will get it.
Back in 10th grade, I was with Casher's family, and he was. We were driving down a street near the bowling alley.
Boring. You're losing the audience.
Shut the fuck up.
Losing the audience.
And Casher's little brother, who's what, like 10 at the time or something.
Yeah, it's got to be
out of nowhere, asked the weirdest off the wall question. We're just driving by because little kids just think of the weirdest shit, and he says, "You think they sell salad at the bowling alley?" And me and Casher fucking lost it, dude. We joked about that for the rest of the day because it was like
rest of our lives, dude.
Yeah, for real. Like, where did you come up with this? Why? I don't know. So,
kids are weird.
What
Especially
else?
These kids in this fucking movie are weird. Especially with the repressed lesbian vibes I get off of like half.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of repressed.
There are one of them's writing love. What's her name's the bad girl is writing love letters or love poems to the other one.
It's so fucked up what they do to her too. Like, cause she's got that, she's like not sitting up postured, and they're all screaming at Irma, telling us, "Where are these girls? You killed them. Where are they?" Then all of a sudden she like runs to the back, and there's this fucking chick just like strapped to a board to keep her fucking back straight.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, holy shit.
Fucking crazy.
That's the darkest part of the whole fucking movie, dude.
They used to do that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see. I did not expect to see that in this movie. It like was a really weird tonal shift for a second. Like, it was disturbing watching all these women, especially how he edited it to where like all the girls are yelling, and the yelling is honestly like, it fucked me up for a second. Like, it's kind of terrifying. And then running back there while everything is all high natured and seeing that image is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's effective editing and filmmaking. And yeah, that's reminds me of Midsummer, when all the girls are crying together, and it just, that alone is scary as fuck.
Yeah.
It just gets into like every nerve of my body. I don't know. It's interesting.
What's more terrifying, the man-made environments or the natural environments in this movie?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Well, it is a good point.
But I'm definitely going natural, because something about just a location like that, being able to like make 4 people disappear in thin air. What the fuck? What a scary concept.
Dude, shit like that happens in real life all the time.
I know.
Too.
Especially like in like national forests and parks and shit. And
I won't camp in one.
like all kinds of shit.
I'm not going to
underground tunnels. Who knows?
No.
Mole people.
More
Morlocks.
people. Hey.
I don't know.
So if you could compare this to any Marvel film, which one would you pick?
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. What are you gonna say, Scott?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I don't know. I almost don't even view the mountain as horrific in this movie by the end of it, because I view it as such an escape from like the pressures of society that have stripped us of our nature.
Huh.
I was gonna say it's not necessarily scary, but it's definitely anxiety ridden, but like
It's
anxiety
unsettling. Nature's
for the
scary,
unknown, you know?
especially
Um,
Australia. There's, the first thing they say is like, "Hey, there's venomous snakes out there, so watch out."
Yeah. Is there anything scarier than the concept of the unknown? Not to me. I don't think so.
It's the definition
Uh,
of fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. That's definitely one of those things.
What's the definition of insanity? Voss. No, but man, I'm trying to think about other Australian movies, and I'm such a fucking pleb in that area that I can't.
And Australia is actually not that populated of a country for its size, so
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
look
know.
for-
I've watched both seasons of Love on the Spectrum, which is in Australia. So
that might be the best thing Australia has to offer.
it's pretty good. I'll be right
I
back.
love that shit.
Okay.
So Australia has Kangaroo Jack.
No, but this
Pacific Rim Uprising.
another unsettling thing about the film is Miss Applebottom or whatever her name is.
Apple
Whatever it is, what's her name?
Apple Bomb.
Okay, Bomb, yeah. It's the way
Apple Bomb's a fat ass, my friend.
yeah, well, she could get it. But
Absolutely not.
just the way she becomes more and more unhinged until you finally see her fucking pull out the bottle of liquor and start pouring. You're like, holy shit.
I used to vacation in Bournemouth, and it just keeps going on in that conversation while she's fucked up.
Yeah, dude, it gets really unsettling because, well, also, of course, you feel for her, but it's also fuck you because she's trying to keep the image of the school the whole time, even though these people are missing or dead.
Very American concept. Surprise.
It's got to be stressful in her defense to have a bunch of your students die,
She
Or
should
go
have been a
missing.
cunt. She caused the death of one of them.
Yeah.
Then she killed herself.
She's no better. Yeah. Fuck her.
Maybe she did it. Maybe she.
Yeah, maybe she pushed her or something, pushed her out. Who knows?
Man, no, maybe she killed all of them.
Oh shit. But she was
Maybe she's
sitting
an
in
idiot.
her office the whole time they were picnicking.
We don't know that. We never see that.
Yeah, we
She
do.
removes her big hair, and there's just like a big alien brain underneath, pulsating.
She removes it, and Voldemort's on the back of her head.
Yeah.
Epic Chungus moment of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
I mean, this is just the use of elements in this movie reminded me weirdly of Seven Samurai.
What?
The use of the elements of Casher, this is not laugh worthy.
It's laugh worthy because I don't understand. Put more details into it.
Because I'm saying, because this is shot in such a natural environment, there is such attention paid to just the use of trees, dirt. You see bugs crawling around. There's this tactile sense that I don't get in a lot of movies.
That's fair.
Cool.
Okay.
And especially in a lot of movies today that are shot, other movies of the time that might have been shot on studio lots,
Yeah.
which is a problem I have in a lot of early kind of mid-century American movies. Any movie from the 50s that's on a studio lot, it's just, and there's a backdrop, feels like it's Green Acres or something, I just can't do it. It's terrible. It's like, really, Green Acres? You couldn't find a farm to film in? Okay.
I like studio lots. I'm a sucker for them.
I don't know. So I really think that even as a modern viewer, transported me back in time more, because it's something that even with digital filmmaking, I feel like you don't feel that weight. You don't have that tactile sense on digital.
Not all.
You do. Even at that, as they return to this primeval spot. There was some weird stuff. Do you remember that old Orientalist man who had a bunch of like Chinese Oriental stuff in his shop.
Oh, like in the town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mystic stuff like that that's
Yeah.
unexplained.
Yeah.
There's still a shop in the
See,
town,
that's
yeah.
when some movies, when they're trying to be ambiguous or cryptic, it feels so forced, contrived. This film, it makes the movie. It's
Because it doesn't call attention to itself.
right. Yeah.
It's just like, hey, here's this guy. And is it likely? I mean, is it possible that some guy had maybe been to the Far East and got a bunch of stuff? I mean, really, realistically, Australia is not that far from China relative to a lot of places.
Could be an immigrant.
Yeah, I mean, is it likely that in a small town he would have all that stuff? No, but it's still plausible, so it doesn't take you out of the movie. But it's just little things like that, and that adds to a mysticism to it, even though it is very Orientalist.
So what do you think the worst use of mysticism in a movie is like that?
What, like
I've got one
weirdly
at the top of my head.
Orientalist?
You remember the movie Gremlins?
Yeah, I know
Where,
Gremlins.
like he's walking in the alley, and it's this little bowl in like Chinese shop, and he walks in, and there's just a bunch of mystic artifacts.
Yeah,
He walks to the back, and the guy pops up, and it's just horribly like stereotypical Chinese man selling mystic goods. I
yeah.
think that one is a little out of place. But
No, it's that movie's very Orientalist. And it's arguably, and from the Orientalist thing, he brings something home. And the argument is like the Gremlins are like immigrants fucking up the idyllic hometown. Which I think is a stretch. I've heard arguments that the Gremlins are supposed to represent black people, which I kind of think you're racist if you make that argument just for comparing black people to Gremlins. Like one of the I don't know. It's kind of like if you're a friend and you think Donkey Kong is like coded as black, and I'm like, well, I think you're racist for saying that.
Donkey Kong's Greek.
He's Greek.
What about Jar Jar Binks?
Dude, Jar Jar Binks is just a weird. I don't know. Watto is way more offensive. He just doesn't get as much screen time. He's a big Junos and like Yamaka in one scene and talks about money. It's terrible.
Well,
We all just coughed at the same time. That was cool.
the I
They're
was
really Go
what?
ahead.
No, go for
ahead.
it.
They're really obsessed with Miranda throughout this whole movie. Miranda's really the alpha female, you know. Even when they're all saying, "Where was she, Irma? Where was she?" They keep saying, "Miranda, where's Miranda? Where's Miranda?" It's almost like they care about her. They give 50% of her care to her and only like 25% to the other two chicks.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. There's something about that. I think that's just, it kind of drives home the tribal, almost Lord of the Flies sort of aspect of this. This movie kind of reminded me of The Shining too, in the way that you can't quite figure out the geometry of the rock. Reminded me of The Shining, which I wonder. I'm sure Kubrick has seen this movie. And I'm sure that's not the first thing that done it. You could go back to weird geometry all the way back to Caligari or something, but I don't know. It's just, that's what, and it does. It also, one more thing, looking through my notes. It ends around Easter. It starts around Valentine's Day, which obviously, I don't know, story of Saint Valentine. But then with the sexual liberation stuff, it's very intentional that's around Valentine's Day. But the fact that it's around Easter, which is a day of rebirth, it's also a pagan day. So does that mean it? It has to mean something. I just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're reborn as swans. So
Yeah. I mean,
So one of the interesting things about the legacy of this, it was voted the best Australian film of all time by members of the Australian Film Institute.
out of what, like 6 movies? No, I'm just kidding.
Right. I just thought it was funny that the members of National Film and Sound Archive are called Kookaburra card members.
Of course.
Like, Australians really lean into their own stereotypes.
Oh, for sure.
They just go with it. They're just, I don't know.
It says here, like you mentioned, Sofia Coppola borrowed heavily from Picnic at Hanging Rock. for her productions of the Virgin Suicide of Marie Antoinette. Both films
Makes sense. I need to watch Marie Antoinette.
That's a good one too. Deal extensively with the themes of death and femininity, as well as adolescent perceptions of love and sexuality.
Yeah, see, I thought I was a fucking dick for thinking too far into that Swans shit, but then Scott saying that really makes me believe it hard as fuck.
Well, even like the last
Especially
chapter
talking about rebirth and all that, you know.
Well, that's the thing. Even like the original book that it's based off of, it has that extra chapter that Joan Lindsay wrote. And in it, Joan Lindsay basically turns them into animals from around that area. And that's sort of like their rebirth reckoning, whatever.
Yeah.
Also, she was majorly obsessed with like time warps and time loops when she wrote the book. So that's where it's interesting because the last chapter is only a few pages long too that she wrote, but it ties everything up, but it was never included in the actual like published book.
Shouldn't have been, and I disregard it. Not canon.
Yeah,
not canon.
I'm glad it wasn't in it because
not canon for the Picnic at Hanging Rock extended universe. Fuck all you fans. But no, I like I said, pleasantly surprised by this movie. It was something I watched on no sleep, and so it was even that more effective in its atmosphere for me.
Yeah, this is not a movie I would recommend to everybody or even most people.
No, I would most film goers, yeah.
I mean, just your average person, your average Arkansan walking in the street, or just your average person.
Well, no. If you're watching this, you're a true patrician like us, of course.
Yeah, of course.
When did you first watch this, Adrian?
Like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
How'd you hear about it? I never heard of this.
He Googled Australian movies, and this is one of 10 movies that popped up.
I'm the Kino Cowboy. I know fucking movies, man. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not the only one that wears a crown in a podcast, bud. Get a new shtick.
Well, I'm the only one that matters, you know. So when we start doing movies like Funeral Parade of Roses and 964 Pinocchio and fucking Hard to Be a God and shit, we're gonna be the most patrician fucking podcast in the world. Because I know these movies, these fucking plebs do not. So no, they shouldn't watch Picnic at Hanging Rock or whatever. So yeah. Anyway.
You're fucking stupid.
Yeah. Keep it in check, bitch ass. Thanks for watching this episode of The Harbor. We're chilling. It's summer. I'm going to be at the beach in 2 days. So, you know.
Oh, also, happy birthday to the Kino Cowboy himself. It's the day afterwards. He's now 28 years old.
I'm turning 23 today. 23.
No. You're
yesterday, actually.
No. 28 years old.
I'm not. I don't know what that. What is that? A number? I don't even know what that is.
Let's get your birthday spankings in.
Virtual spanks. Okay, let me bend over.
We'll get Parker to come in, dude. We'll get a good one.
I don't think I'm not sharing that with you. Oh man. Yeah, thanks for watching, folks. We will be back in a week.